Today on the TMZ Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the TMZ Podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton, and joining me again tomorrow, and joining me yesterday and today, I don't know why I said tomorrow, maybe, is Melanie Miller.
Hello.
Welcome, Melanie. We got you back again because, my God, you had a huge day yesterday.
Thanks, Charlie.
You got one of the biggest celebrities in the world.
Man, what are the odds?
What are the odds?
To quote Timothée
Chalamet,
Yeah.
you got in Beverly Hills.
Yes.
Incredible. So just pause on that. We'll
Okay.
talk about that in a second.
All right.
Very exciting news.
Great.
We'll also talk about Jimmy Kimmel.
Mm-hmm.
He went on his show last night, and in his monologue, he excoriated Aaron Rodgers for Aaron Rodgers saying that Jimmy Kimmel was going to show up on the Jeffrey Epstein list.
Somebody's got to put him in his place.
Yeah, I agree with that. And finally, we will talk about Lindsay Lohan. What a redemption story she has had. She was in New York last night at the Mean Girls premiere. So good for her.
Should have had it on a Wednesday, but that's all right.
Is that a Mean Girls reference?
Yeah.
There we go. All right, Melanie. Tell us about your Timothée Chalamet shot yesterday. Give us a behind the scenes,
Okay.
what it's like to be a camera girl out on the mean streets of Beverly Hills.
Honestly, this was a 1 in a million shot. Like, I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. I got a tip on DDG, Halle Bailey's baby daddy,
Okay,
waiting on DDG.
DDG.
I'd missed him coming out of Balenciaga because I got a tip for him. There's 2 Balenciagas. So I would have just shot him at Balenciaga if I went to the right one, left, and went home for the day.
So your mistake was actually blessing in disguise.
Yes.
Nice.
And then I get a tip that he's at English Rabbit on Brighton in Beverly Hills.
English Rabbit?
It's a child's store. He's getting baby clothes for the new baby.
Hey, that'd be a good story for our site.
I got it. It was...
Oh, you got it too?
Yeah.
Oh, I got nothing yesterday. I got nothing again. All right, go on.
So I get to English Rabbit. I'm waiting. I'm looking like one way, and I had never seen him. And I happen to look back,
Mhm.
and I see a skinny, white, gangly kid with a New York Yankees hat, and he looks the same every time he's out. He never wears something else.
Yeah, he dresses down all the time.
But it's always the New York Yankees hat.
Oh, is that right?
Every photo I see of him, and I was like, in my head, I'm like,
Can't
no way that
Can't
Timmy.
be.
No, and I'm like, nah, it's not. No, and I was like, I don't want to expose myself, and like, you know,
Don't expose yourself, Melanie. That'd be a bad way to do it. Just pull out your camera. All right, go
I didn't
on.
want to blow up myself with DDG and
Yeah.
like cause a scene, you know. And I'm like, I don't even think it's him, and I was like, whatever, I'll just look dumb if it's not him.
Mhm.
And I go up to him and I go, Timmy, and right then I was like, oh, it's him.
Oh, because he turned around or something.
I don't know. It's just the way that
The
he
look.
acted. He just like kept going, and I was like, if it wasn't him, he would have been like, who?
Okay, and so then what happened from there?
So then I press him.
Oh,
I say, hey,
nice.
there's
pressing.
a huge there's a huge story out about apparently Selena Gomez telling Taylor Swift and Kelly Teller, Miles Teller's wife, that she asked for a photo with Timothée Chalamet, and Kylie Jenner said no.
Yeah, that was a big story.
So I ask, did that happen? Doesn't say anything. I say, come on. Is it ridiculous? Shut down the rumors. Says nothing. He says he's blown away and basically says, were you just happen to be standing there? And I said, yeah. And he was like, what are the chances? I said, good question.
All right, let's play a little bit of the start of that interview now.
Okay. Did you deny Selena a photo like everyone's reporting? Are you and Selena cool?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you are? Does Selena and Kylie have any beef? Is that outrageous?
No.
So no beef,
No beef.
and they are cool.
Yes.
Those 2 girls are cool,
I guess. According to Timothée.
according to Timothee,
However, he would not answer whether the incident actually took place or not.
which is almost an answer.
I think so.
It is. I mean, if he answered your other questions, then why wouldn't he say, nah, that was ridiculous?
And he never talked to us. I really think the only reason he talked was because he was so like
Surprised?
surprised, and like he just kept saying like, what are the chances? What are the chances?
Look, sometimes, Melanie, your manner can be,
Off-putting?
yeah, but it could,
Setting?
yeah, but it can also be disarming. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't expect a paparazzi or whatever we call ourselves here, field producer, to look and sound like you in the nicest possible way. And sometimes, I mean, yeah, in this instance, it might have worked.
I think it worked in my favor. I don't think he'd have talked otherwise.
I don't think so. I don't think he would have talked to me. I
No.
mean, my disarming thing is the Australian accent. Sometimes that works.
Yeah.
It's just like, huh? Why does he sound like that?
To be honest, I don't think it was me at all. I think he just was so thrown off by that. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. And he just kept repeating, like, what are the chances? I mean, that's what I was repeating in my head.
Yeah. I mean, 1 in a million. Is this the shot of your career?
I think it might be.
Have you got any other ones competing with it?
I think the ASAP Rocky might be.
Oh, ASAP Rocky.
That was off the cuff, too.
You ASAP Rocky and you went for a run.
We went for a run.
A jog.
And I was driving down Melrose and I saw him. I pulled over, grabbed my camera, and it all just happened 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it often goes like that.
Yeah.
It often I think my like most shared or biggest clip was Jennifer Lawrence
Really?
saying, "Don't touch my dog, you fucking loser," and that quote went around a fair bit.
I think you have a way more iconic clips than that.
I don't think so.
I do.
Not that I can remember. Conor McGregor got mad at me.
Conor
sometimes.
McGregor was fantastic. I loved the Sarah Jessica Parker cleaning up after people.
Oh wow, thank you, Melanie.
The cake thingy with the Steve Aoki.
Okay, this isn't even about me, but Melanie, you remember more clips than
No,
I do.
I think you have really good clips.
Thank you.
Charlie.
Well, I mean, Timothée Chalamet, getting him is one thing, but getting him on the heels of that viral story,
Yeah.
this clip will be everywhere
Yeah.
today. Are you just going to be on Google typing in Timothée Chalamet, Melanie Miller, and seeing like scrolling?
I feel pretty good about myself.
Are you going to spend the rest of the day just in the car? Like, I don't need to shoot any more shots.
Nap time.
You're good for the week at least. Gotta be.
Yeah. And I got ASAP Rocky yesterday, and he said, "Oh, we're not running today."
You got ASAP Rocky, and you also got. Did you stay around after Timothée Chalamet
Oh.
to get DDG?
Well, here's the funny thing is, he kept saying to me, like, I think you got to go back and get DDG. And I, like, cut the interview because I was like, I'm going to get as much as I'm going to get from him. I run back to DDG, and he's leaving the second I get there. So I barely missed him, and I got him.
Oh, you got him.
I got him. But he was coming out, like,
Did
as
he
I
talk?
Yeah. He talked about the new baby. He showed me what he got him at the store. Spent him like $5,000 on the new baby.
What in the world, Melanie? What a day.
Well, I don't know what happened yesterday. That was the craziest day of my life.
I literally got nothing.
I'm sorry. But
You got enough to like distract Harvey from my lack of production. Congrats, man. That's amazing. I mean,
what a
that's
weird
amazing.
day.
What a weird day.
I literally, like, because I, like, picked up, I called you and I was like, he's not going to answer me, but I'm going to send him a voice note anyway. And I was like, I just remember, like, Charlie's never going to believe this. I was like, this is insane. I called Wasserman and I was like, we got to get this up. And he goes, Melanie, this seems like a story for the morning.
Oh,
And I
Wasserman
was
is
like,
an idiot. He's a complete
Wasserman!
idiot. Yeah.
He's like, he goes, I'm in the middle of a big story. I was like,
This is the big story, Wasserman.
Wasser money.
Oh, I'm going to bring that up to Harvey next time I see him. He needs to be demoted. All right. On to our next story. Jimmy Kimmel. He gave his monologue last night, and of course, he responded to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, who said on the Pat McAfee show that a lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, are really hoping that the Epstein list doesn't come out. So it seemed like he plucked Jimmy Kimmel's name out of nowhere because I didn't know they had beef.
Has Aaron Rodgers been on the Jimmy Kimmel show before?
I don't think so.
I can't imagine why not.
I don't think so. But Jimmy Kimmel talked about why he thinks the reason that Aaron Rodgers invoked him, stemming back from an old joke he told about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Let's just listen to some of Jimmy Kimmel now, and we'll explain a bit more.
I don't know Jeffrey Epstein. I've never met Jeffrey Epstein. I'm not on a list. I was not on a plane or an island or anything ever. And I suggested that if Aaron wanted to make false and very damaging statements like that we should do it in court so he could share his proof with like a judge. Because, you know, when you hear a guy who won a Super Bowl and did all the State Farm commercials say something like this, a lot of people believe it. A lot of delusional people honestly believe I am meeting up with Tom Hanks and Oprah at Shakey's once a week to eat pizza and drink the blood of children.
So Jimmy Kimmel believes that their beef, which, I mean, he was unaware of until Aaron Rodgers invoked him.
Yeah, it's out of left field.
It's out of left field. He thinks that it stemmed from back in February of last year.
With the vaccine and him immunizing himself?
Well, I mean, that came up too. But specifically, Aaron Rodgers said that the UFO sightings, there was a lot of UFO sightings back in February. He says that he thinks that the UFO sightings were used by the American government as like a distraction from the Epstein list. And Jimmy Kimmel then talked about Aaron Rodgers on his show, basically saying how ridiculous it is, how he thinks he knows everything, how it might be time to revisit the concussion protocol for Aaron Rodgers.
That's kind of funny.
It was kind of funny. And so Jimmy Kimmel now assumes that really offended Aaron, and he's held on to it since February of last year.
He's been stewing.
He's been stewing. And so that's why he took a shot at him out of nowhere. And it's not like Aaron Rodgers was like making an overt joke. He was kind of calling him a pedophile. You know what I mean? It's like it's a lie. It's false, and that's what.
And then like all jokes aside, pretty serious.
It's a pretty serious accusation, especially because this day and age, if you say something that's false, half of the country are going to believe you, regardless of the facts.
And it's not really about the truth. It's about like what people think.
It's like what do you call it? Like kangaroo court. That's what we call it. It's like a trial by society. What do they call it?
Yeah, I'm not sure the word, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'm pretty brain dead recently.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
True. Me too. So, I mean, obviously, Jimmy Kimmel said as well that when stuff like this happens, he gets so much hate.
Trial by society?
Yeah, trial by... We'll get back to it.
Right.
We're both too dumb, and it's too early in the morning to remember that saying. He said he gets hate. His family gets hate. He said even his mailman gets hate.
Yeah.
And so it's not like you're just like saying something off the cuff. You're saying something that can really damage someone and affect their day to day. Jimmy says that because Aaron is so good at football, he thinks he's good at everything else,
Yeah.
Which Aaron Rodgers always now is kind of putting his nose in places it doesn't belong.
Oh, everywhere. He's becoming the new Demi Lovato.
Hey, that's not a bad take. He kind of is. It's getting a bit annoying because I don't have a problem with an athlete expressing their political views or any views. That's all fine, but Aaron Rodgers does it in such a way to agitate.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
He's just like a troll, but in the worst way possible.
Yeah,
like it's just for what?
I mean, for clicks, kind of. I mean, it's a bit Elon Musky in that way.
But it's like almost delusional in the sense that he's like really believes it, but like is just a Looney Tune with like he's just giving Donald Trump or like Kanye West at this point. Right.
I mean, Jimmy Kimmel goes on to say that this guy went to community college and then, he got a scholarship to like somewhere in LA and he didn't graduate. And now this guy thinks that he knows everything about vaccines and he knows everything about this and that, when really he's just watching YouTubes or listening to podcasts and then just like, espousing those sort of views. Just basically SDFU.
Like listening to dumb people like us and being like, they're right.
Right. It's like everyone listening now is going to go out and tell their friends something based on our nonsense. Yeah. So what else? One joke that he said that I liked. He says, Aaron got 2 A's on his report card. They were both in his name, Aaron. I kind of like that joke. At the end, he asked, will he apologize? So I'll put that to you, Melanie. Do you think that Aaron Rodgers...
tell you right now, immediately no.
Immediately no?
Absolutely not happening.
You think he's going to respond in some sort of way?
On the Pat McAfee show today.
Yeah.
He said he was going to talk about it.
Again?
Yeah, that's why it prompted Jimmy Kimmel. Because he was like, I have a lot to say tomorrow on the Pat McAfee show. And Jimmy Kimmel goes, bet I'll beat you to the punch.
Oh, okay. So this
I assume, right?
This might be an ongoing story.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well, I mean, this isn't unexpected, but I'm kind of enjoying a little bit of the beef. I don't know. It's just like so out there in public and they're taking such big shots. Jimmy Kimmel was quite funny last night. Yeah. I'm interested to see what Aaron Rodgers has to say.
He can't be as good as Kimmel.
he can't be as funny. You know,
No way. He's got a staff of writers coming up with these jokes.
True.
Aaron Rodgers is like sitting on his couch, like, what should I say?
Yeah. Thank God the writer's strike is over for Kimmel, so he can
He's
come up with
screwed.
gold. Speaking of UFOs, actually, TMZ has a 3-part special premiering on Tubi today. It's called TMZ Presents UFO Revolution. We're going to address like potential government cover-ups. That's what everyone's interested in. Do we have evidence out there that they're not showing us? Why they're not showing us? Release their papers.
That's what Aaron Rodgers is interested in.
I mean, that's why everybody's so interested in UFOs.
I hope he watches this special.
I'm sure he will. So yeah, I mean, the special's trying to get to the bottom of how much we don't know about UFOs, how much is being hidden from us. There was those congressional hearings recently.
Right.
Like, UFOs have never been more relevant than they are now, I think. More people today are interested in UFOs and aliens than they've ever been.
We're the problem. It's us.
Thank you, Taylor Swift. So yeah, check out TMZ Presents UFO Revolution on Tubi.
Let's go.
Okay, on to our final story. Lindsay Lohan was in New York City at the Mean Girls premiere, and I just think this is a really nice sort of bookend, where Phoenix rising from the ashes.
Yeah.
Because back when Mean Girls came out 20 years ago, exactly 20 years ago.
That's bananas.
Is that a Mean Girls line?
No, sorry.
I'm never really sure what. That's so fetch. I know that one.
That's so fetch.
So 20 years ago, she was like the biggest star in the world. She was huge. In fact, one of TMZ's greatest clips of all time.
Oh.
You know this clip?
Yeah. I know. It's one of my favorites of all time.
Paris Hilton and her friend.
Lindsay Lohan is a fire crotch.
Fire crutch.
That's what got me interested in TMZ when I was a young kid.
That was one of like the early TMZ clips that like went viral. Is Paris Hilton and her friend calling Lindsay Lohan a fire crutch.
I used to play it over and over and over again.
That's a bit weird. But here she is 20 years later. She's not in the film. The film's actually a musical, which kind of piques my interest a little.
It piques my interest a little less.
Oh, okay. You're not into musicals?
No.
Oh, I got a kid. Kids
Yeah.
like music. I'll go on. Is this a good for children viewing, or is Mean Girls like over mean?
Oh, I think it's PG-13.
Okay,
Sure.
that's 13. That's pretty old. But yeah, so Lindsay, she was there with Tina Fey.
Mm.
Tina Fey, who wrote the musical.
Yeah.
and
And wrote the original.
Tina Fey wrote the original too,
Mm.
and she plays Mrs. Dunbar or Mrs. Someone or
I'm
other.
a pusher, Katie. I'm a pusher.
Well, you know all of these
Of
things.
course.
Mrs. Norbury.
Norbury. That's
Norbury
Yeah.
is what Tina Fey plays.
Yeah.
But it's so nice. Like Lindsay Lohan is here. She looks amazing.
amazing.
And she's in New York City with her husband
Yeah.
and her kid. Her husband is like from Dubai.
Yeah.
They met in Dubai.
Love it.
Beta Shamas. And they got a 5-month-old son with them. So it's just like she was everything. She was like not much. And now like I just really she's coming back out.
I always loved her. I think she's a phenomenal actress. I enjoy everything she does. And I feel really bad for her because I feel like she was put on camera partying. Like, I do that
Oh,
every...
the partying, yeah.
That's why like everyone shamed her. But I'm like, I do that every weekend. What are we talking
I know you do. And I think you should do that a little less. Melanie. I'll stop publicizing it too much. We've had this conversation. Melanie parties like no other.
I'm just really enjoying. I stopped drinking for 8 years, so I'm just
You're back on the...
yeah, I'm making up for lost time.
That's good. Maybe you will have a Lindsay Lohan type redemption story. I mean, you got Timothée Chalamet yesterday. What are you talking about? So anyway, congratulations to you, Melanie.
Thank you.
That's the highlight of the day. That's the highlight of the week.
Thanks.
I hope I can get anything, even a no soundbite today.
Oh, I bet you're gonna get something really good.
We'll see about that.
I hope so.
Thank you for joining me, Melanie. Thank you for joining us, everyone. And we'll see you here tomorrow.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.